headland. How is it just around the corner from that headland? It is heaven. Hopefully it remains heaven for me over the next couple of days. Let's pick one of these little alcoves. It's either this one or the one at the very point. The one at the very point's probably better to get closer to better fishing. But fishing might not be the focus this trip. Geez, that one looks good, doesn't it? That could be the one. We'll have one more look at the one around the corner, and then we'll make a decision, and we'll talk about what we're doing today or over the next 3 days. Oh, look at these! Look at all these GTs! Wow, how cool was that? Big school of them. Little mini GTs, mate. They are perfect eating size for me. Maybe we'll go ashore and just check this out, because once I make a decision, that's where the boat remains for the next 3 days. It's quite shallow here. Oh. All right. Oh, it's heaven on this side. So protected from the wind. There we go. Let's get her a bit higher and drier. It's nice and safe for now. Whew. We'll go a little bit higher in a sec. Okay, so this is the spot. You can see I just took a quick walk up and checked it out. We'll have a chat about what the deal is first, and then we'll go through what we've brought and how it's all going to run, or how I think it's going to run. Anyway, so I've been avoiding this video for a long time because I've always thought it was a little bit of a cop out, a little too fake or gimmicky. But then I put a little bit of thought in, and I was going through this in the live feed recently as well, about doing some kind of survival video. But if I do it, it has to be legit. It's never really a life and death situation, so I can always cruise back if I need to. But I'd like it to be a challenge for me, and that would make it a legitimate kind of thing to do. And if it's an actual challenge for me, it's going to be worthwhile for me doing. If it's just me faking some survival and doing some tips that I've seen on YouTube, then that's not going to cut it. And a lot of people have asked me before, what item would you bring? And a lot of people say knife, and a lot of people say fishing rod. But what I've always maintained is the one thing I definitely bring is water, or some way to make water. Because in Australia, I don't know, like everywhere in the world, but especially a lot of these sort of isolated places and the islands I go to, if you've got no water, you're in big trouble. You're kind of screwed, really. So water is like the most important thing. And I thought if I bring water, that's too much, that makes it too easy as well, because I can go 3 days without eating, no problems, and you know, I'll be hungry, but I'll be fine. So to make it hard, I've done no water, no food, and no shelter, and 3 items. So that's the challenge, and we've got 3 days to do it in before the weather turns bad. So we've got an extra day weather window. We'll make a decision. I thought maybe on the last day, maybe I could, that's why I've brought these fishing rods, is because I'm not planning on using them on the trip, except at the very last day, I thought maybe I could try and catch a big Spanish while I'm up here for the family and bring it home. So camera gear and stuff like that isn't counted, so tripod isn't counted. And this also goes in the bag. This is the, oh my God, I'm wigging out and I can't do this anymore challenge. It's only 3 days, but after 3 days, if you're that thirsty, you should be pretty thirsty by then. So we've got a bag of chips, the bug spray, and a bottle of water. And that can only be opened on the last day when I'm going fishing for Spanish. So we should put that in here actually. Okay, so that gets locked up. Now, I know I'm the no shoe guy, but I happen to know that this place up here is riddled, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it from here, but we'll have a look later. All up there, that's all prickly pear, but they are all over the place as soon as you get into the green area there. And last time I was here, ages ago, I came here with Timmy, and I stood on one, he hurt his hand on one, and I just thought, just in case it's as bad as I remember, I'm going to bring some thongs. So I've got some kind of footwear just to stop me from getting the prickly pears. Apart from that, I might not even need them, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so here are our items. We have plastic bags. We have a basic old antique hand line, which I had at home, and a Leatherman. So this Leatherman has been with me for a long time. Quite a few guys have seen these in the video show up here and there, which is a good multi-tool and cuts really well. And that's it. So I've got plans, obviously. The reason why I've got the bags is that's my one water device. I bought just a big pack, like that was a 50 pack. Probably don't need 50, and I bought these ones in particular because they're clear, because I've got a plan with them to make water. I wasn't going to include the fishing kit as one of the items. I was just going to come with these 2 things, but then I thought, just for movie's sake, and just for the video and just for entertainment's sake, I thought it would be more fun to have the fishing kit with me. Look, I think I'll be able to scrounge up enough food without it, but I thought without a fish or something, or a chance to catch a fish, it's probably not going to be as entertaining, and it's going to be a lot of scrounging around. So I thought we'll throw in the basic fishing kit. Hopefully I'm allowed to, and that's not breaking the rules too much. Yeah, all these little things you learn. Growing up, I really enjoyed all of this outdoor stuff and practicing little things like lighting fires and all these little things that you do. But I don't think I've ever put myself to a test of actually having to do them, you know, in some kind of situation where it's kind of something, at least something's riding on it. There's going to be things I'm going to need to go and hunt around for. Obviously, I think the first thing I'll do is I might even set a few of these bags up to see if we can get some water, because I don't want to waste this sun. The longer I get the bags in, the more chance I've got of making enough water for today. Hopefully I can make enough each day to get me by. But I'm going to be super honest about how it's all going, and we'll just, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we just have a bit of fun and it's entertaining enough. Should have bought a little bag that I could carry stuff in. Maybe I can come up with something for that. So, bottle. Oh, we'll definitely keep that. Mr. Muscle. So, here's the prickly pear fields. Oh, okay, so we put the thongs on because, see, there's lots of little ones like this one. See, that one there I can avoid no problems. It's these ones down here you got to watch, and that's a big one that's laying low to the ground. So you get these ones, and these spikes, they look like they're sort of smooth, and they would go in quite smoothly and out, but once they go in, they've got little burrs on them, so they don't come out very easily, which I found out. You know what's really cool is they're all fruiting. Wow, so there's the first meal right there. Like, look at this one here. That is a beauty. But see, with the prickly pear, it's not just the big spikes you got to watch out for. It's all of the little, see the little nubs? They're all packed with tiny little hairy spines. So I'll have to be super careful. It's like a port bottle or something. It's been here for a while. What does it say? Suntory Reserve. Oh, there's ants all over it. Yeah. Let's chuck this down here. That looks like a perfect water bottle as well. That's a find, actually. That's quite a nice bottle. I'll feel very pirate-ish. Something's stuck in my thong already. Look at that. Look at that. I just stepped on that and I felt it poke through a little bit. That's pretty epic. Look at that. Wouldn't want that to go through you, would you? Yeah, thongs have turned out to be a good idea all of a sudden. That pandanus smell. Alright, oh, coconut. Oh, it's light as though, so that'll be empty. What will be good though is this is great kindling. So maybe I can chuck this back over to where those bottles are. Pretty crappy throw. Man, there is a lot of prickly pear here. It's everywhere. So I'm looking forward to trying the fruits. I've only tried it once before. There is plenty of trees that are suitable, but they're all a bit high. I can't really reach any of them around this side. So what I might do is I might head back around this way. On this side, they've got to wait till the sun gets over, and they're typically taller, it seems, and none of the ones that I can reach on this side are big enough because they're getting so much shade. I guess over this side they might actually be more. So we'll get over there, see if we have a bit more luck. Here we go. Oh, look, Haviana as well. Fancy thongs. It's pretty much my size, actually. See, if I found another one of them, I'd be in business. I probably will find another one at some point. Thongs and crocs are all very common. Chuck this over here in our pile of potential items. Grab that bottle. Still seems intact. Oh look, a little army man. He's looking a little worse for wear. It's been a tough life. There's a tub there. I don't know if I'd have much use for that. But we'll see. There's another part of a thong. So there are things like around here, it's actually pretty good considering how much plastic gets washed up in other parts of the world. I was watching one of those young bloods, and he was at Christmas Island, and it's brutal how much plastic is getting washed up on that little island. It's just hard to watch, actually. Yeah, like just it's that bad. Like, and they said they cleaned out the beach one day and he came back and there's just like the same amount there the next day. It's like, wow, that's terrible. Oh, another thong, kids thong. Oh look, there's two kids thongs. So if you're a kid, you've actually got a set of shoes right there. Look at that. That would work. This bit of wood looks nice and dry, and it's got some char on it, so that might keep that as well. Ooh, see, that one will get you. That's nasty. Just tucked away in there, just where you're not expecting to step on one. That bit of char there will light a little bit easier than just drilling into other bits of wood. So we'll keep that. Alright, let's get these bags up. Alright, this is what we're looking for. We can reach that one. There's one there. And there's some up there. They're not getting as much sun though. Maybe we'll start with that one, but we'll go a bit higher. Watch the prickly pear. Bloody everywhere. Lots of small ones. Little landmines. Oh, here we go. What's this one? This looks nice and low. So, Not sure really how much water I'm going to get. Oh, that's funny. It's two different trees. Look, I saw these leaves are what I'm looking for. This is not what I'm looking for. But it's two stems, two trunks growing straight right next to each other. So it's sort of melded into one tree. Let's get the leatherman out and cut it down. So we don't want it to, I'm going to sell ourselves too short. So that is actually surprisingly strong. Well, it's not really that surprising, is it? But that'll make a nice tie. Now we're doing transpiration method. So we want to cover a nice big branch and just let the tree do all the work for me, basically. I'm going to do a bow because I want to be able to reuse the top bit. Okay, there's another one in. Okay, someone's left a bit of rope on this tree. That could come in handy if we get desperate. Unfortunately, it's that super slippery kind of rope, but if we get desperate, we might be able to use that for making fire as well. If I can get it undone. You know what? I've got a pair of pliers in my pocket. I'm wasting my time for. There we go. It's not a lot, but it could actually be a valuable item. Yeah, all these little things like, you know, if you were stuck here for a couple of weeks, you'd accumulate a lot of good little things, whether it's from nature or things that are washed up, which would make the whole job a lot easier. So as you progress, you get a lot better at it and you'd be a bit more prepared, especially when it comes to lighting the fires. But to do it all in one big go on the first day could be a little trickier. Geez, that doesn't look snaky at all, does it? Just like a whole big low-lying bush. I think I'll walk around that. It's the right type of tree though, isn't it? Isn't it interesting how it's grown so flat? I guess you just take whatever you can get. In this kind of environment, you get around this side and it gets a lot windier out on the point. The trees are changing though. More casuarinas and pandanus, which aren't really what I'm after because they won't release much water at all. They're a lot more efficient at holding onto their water. Down there looks nice, doesn't it? You can feel that it's windier on the other side. Coming over was quite windy. As soon as I got around this corner, it's super protected this time, so that's nice. It's a nice spot. But all of a sudden, I'm starting to think I might need to work a little harder to make sure I've got enough water. Alright, we'll get up here and find a few more trees. This guy here, if I stand up on this ledge, he seems to be just asking for it as well. Look at this. Yeah, we'll definitely try and get one on him. Nice and close to camp as well. Ooh, I'm very excited about this one. Very excited indeed. Look at that. Caught so much foliage. It's hanging down just perfectly into this little V. But just as I've walked up here, I've noticed that there's a grass tree here. This is exactly what we're looking for. Let's chuck those down. These guys here. Now, what I'm looking for is this stem here. These guys have already broken themselves off. This one looks really good, has a lot of potential because we're right up the top here. We should get some nice solid wood for me to make a hand drill out of. Some slightly thicker stems down the bottom, which we could make a base plate for. And there's another one over here. Oh, well, that was easy. Look, everything's sort of here. I see, we want it still not to be, see how it's all crunchy. A little bit too soft, so I don't want it to fall apart when I start drilling into it. It's going to be interesting. It's not as easy as it seems. All right, one more. That tree there with this bag here. Let's do that. That one should be a good one as well, actually. So we've got 5 bags out. The first 2 bags aren't as good as the last 2, that's for sure, but there was, you know, there's something happening there. So hopefully we can get enough water for today. We'll see how we go with 5 bags today and see if we need to put more bags out tomorrow, or we need to start thinking about other options like solar still. Don't really want to do solar still. You know, I guess at some point we'll have to think of some kind of shelter. Look, the bugs don't seem that bad, so I'm not really fussed actually. It doesn't really have to be a rain shelter, but maybe just something, because I don't want to just be sleeping out. Something to can actually just keep off the wind and try and hold some heat, I guess, is going to be the most important thing. It's a nautilus shell. How cool is that? Ooh, there's a big spider in it. Like, look, the spider's still in its web there. I wonder what kind of spider it is. You go up here. Cool shell though. Nautilus. It's like the name of every apartment block's built near the sea. Here we go. That looks like a mattress or something to me. Foam. That'll insulate me from the ground, that's for sure. You can see he's in kangaroo tracks. Come inside. See his tail resting and his big feet. So the kangaroos are coming down onto the beach here. There's some more. These ones are a bit more weathered. Okay, just heading back with all my upgrades. Wow. There's one fish in there. Look at him darting around. Don't know if you can see him in there. He's just up and near that cave. One lonely fish. I wonder how long he's been in there for. Alright, we back. In our box. Whew. Surely we can do something with that. Yeah, every time we go back we'll take another bit of wood. If we do manage to get a fire going, we'll need it all. These things are spiky as. You gotta watch out for those spikes. So she still doesn't really look like much. Obviously I could put, you know, like better fronds, green fronds, but I don't want to cut green fronds, you know what I mean? This is just for a video. So I don't want to cut proper branches down. I could put, like, you know, struts across and on the inside and lash it all down to make it all nice and tight. There's so many things I could do to make it so much better, but it's just not worth it. So you get the idea. We got somewhere to sleep, and yeah, we'll get inside and have a look. So basically I didn't bring my hoochie, so I've made a hoochie. It actually doesn't look so bad inside. Yeah, and with a bit more effort you could actually make this quite nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's actually quite cozy in there. So with a bit more effort we could turn that into a much more viable and long-term shelter, but I'm not really willing to, you know, destroy the area just for the sake of a video. So that will do. Let's break these down flat. I know, know, isn't it ridiculous? The irony is not lost on me that I'm using all this plastic, and plastic's exactly the problem. But plastic's also exactly what can save you. I'll try not to use too many plastic bags actually, because how many have I used? 6, 7, 8. I've used 8 so far. Yeah, so 8 to survive. And I'll try not to use too many more. And when I'm finished with all this, I'll pack it all up and I'll put it in the bag and I'll take it with me and try and yeah, clean up everything that I've sort of collected. Okay, something a bit like that. It'll run itself down as well pretty quickly. Just a little bit of an edge on it just for now, just like that. Okay, and how long do we want it? Probably want it about that long maybe. Ah, it's sorted very quickly and very well. You can see how porous and crumbly they are inside, so sometimes they're too crumbly. Seems pretty solid down the bottom here though, so hopefully that's fine. And it's nice and straight, so that's definitely a positive. The knife there. Yeah, just got a few other little bits. This might be a bit hard. You know what, that bit might actually be big enough. Let's just have a little go at it. Only one way to find out. And this is just a test day. We're not counting on it lighting today because we don't need a fire necessarily. Just need some rest and to stay out of the sun really. Probably made the little board a bit small, but hey, what am I going to do now? Nothing. So this first step is just called the burn in. It's just to char a hole into it before we cut any kind of groove. You know what? That looks like it's charring up straight away. Or is it my imagination? I think we're actually getting some smoke there. Yeah, we're definitely getting smoke. I should have taken the camera off so you can see it. Okay. Yeah, no, we got some smoke there. Look at that. No, that's working. You can see that's charred a proper nice hole in there. So this wood, these pieces, these work, okay, so we'll keep those. So grass tree drill with those bits seems to work. If I can get that kind of amount of smoke straight up, let's just keep that because that'll go up a bit quicker. Now we'll cut a groove in here, a notch, and then we might as well give it a go. Nice and dry. Those little needles should make good tinder. And we might rip a little bit of that coconut up, that'll actually be the best. Okay, so we'll make a little nest, and that's what our little tinder ball is going to go. Our little piece of, little ember. Once we get an ember going, we'll put that into here, and then we'll just wrap it up in there. So we'll just have that sitting there. Maybe we'll use a bit of this just to go underneath, just to give us a little base. Under here like that. Now we've got to cut a notch into here, so basically one little V in here, so when we're twizzling around the ember builds up on the edges of that notch and fall into the notch, and that superheated material will eventually become a smoking little coal. sometimes that's what the difficult part is, just finding the right materials to actually have a proper go at it. So we start with just some nice twizzles, just building up heat. It doesn't have to be overly hard pressure at this stage, just slowly work my way down. I'm actually trying to conserve my energy. See how much quicker it's smoking though? It's already smoking. So when, oh, sugar. Okay. Now once I start to get a little bit more smoke, I'll start putting some serious pressure on, like now. Okay, have we done enough? We haven't done enough. Damn, we need more. Seems to be going through the board a bit too quick. Yeah. It's a work in progress. We'll have another shot of that. It's part of the reason why I wanted to have a couple of goes at it today, because nothing is riding on it today. But tomorrow, I really want to get it going on. And if I can't, see, that's almost all the way through the board. What does that mean? Does that mean that this is too soft? It's definitely smoking. It's kind of grinding its way through though, isn't it, a bit? Maybe we need a board that's a bit harder. Okay. Let's have another crack. We're definitely getting smoke. Okay. We had a darkened little spot there. See that there? That was the start of an ember. Yeah. We almost had it. I just need a little bit more gas, I think. Alright. I think I'll leave it at that. But I'll get it tomorrow for sure. It's tearing apart. But that's alright, because all we need it for is a little bit of a fruit harvesting. I might just give it a quick rinse. And we'll see if we can grab some of these prickly pear fruit. Oh, that water feels nice. How good would it be if you could just drink that? So, let's cut them off first. Whoop. Look at that, beautiful. Okay, that's probably enough. And they're full of liquid as well, look. That one's just oozing. So this will help the situation. Start with that many. We don't want to go too crazy on the old fruit straight up, because that could cause another kind of problem. Maybe we'll get this bit of wood so we can use it as a chopping board. Oh, look at that. Is that a great big grasshopper? You can see him there, just hiding out. Come on, mate. It's not a grasshopper, it's some kind of insect. He's not going anywhere though, look at him. There you go, mate. There you go. Okay, so basically I just want to skin these down. I've only tried these. I've never really tried to eat a whole one. So this is a bit of a new thing for me as well. Geez, they look juicy though. Now I've seen guys on videos eat the actual whole leaf as well, and I'd give that a go, except it looks like it's easier to burn off all the spurs. Probably could burn the outside of these quickly to get some of the little hairs off as well. It's very stainy, but that looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? Quite delicious looking. Okay. Sour, lots of pips, but it's sort of like a pomegranate, but you can eat the pips. It's almost like I'm drinking something. It's so thick and juicy. Mate, I will smash all of those, no problems. Bit sour, but what do they taste like? It's like really tangy, but still sweet and super juicy. A little bit acidic, but yeah, no, super tangy and really really refreshing. It's almost like I'm having a nice fresh juice or something. But yeah, no, I'm gonna eat all of those, and I might even get one or two more, because that's basically like I'm drinking something almost. They're so juicy, like look how juicy they are. I don't know if you can see that. They're surprisingly good. I could live off them for a week. Gotta admit though, I am hoping that those plastic bags are collecting a bit of water, because I do need a bit of water to wash that down. I think that might be dinner for today. Sun's starting to get a little lower. We'll check the bags as soon as it just gets a little bit lower. Might go and wash my hands off. And I'll clear all this up. Tell you what though, the amount of liquid and the juiciness of those fruit, you could probably go a while on those, especially when there's so many. You'd probably get the runs after a little while, but it's better than dying, isn't it? Getting closer to sunset, so I guess it's time to go check the bags and see what kind of water we got. I was going to use that other bottle, but you can't really see a lot of what's in it, but that's a bit dodgy. How about this one? That feels pretty good. I'll cut it up here, but I think that might be a bit ambitious. Go and rinse it off. Make sure we give this thing a good rinse out. Who knows where it's been and how long it's been doing it for. Okay. One more. Okay, the moment of truth. I'd like to know that I've got at least something to drink now, because I've got to admit, pretty thirsty. I felt a lot more thirsty before the cactus fruit, but now that I've had the fruit, I actually feel pretty refreshed and fine to go on. I probably could go to sleep tonight without having another drink, but let's start fresh with these bags tomorrow. So I know some of them are better than others. Okay, bag number one. There's definitely some water down the bottom there though, that looks pretty good. This is one of the late bags, so... Oh no, it's not. This is one that I had high hopes for, but then realised that it wasn't going to be in the sun long enough. So it didn't turn out to be quite as good as I'd hoped. Let's try and shake all that water down though. Definitely don't want to miss out on any. Rip a tiny little hole. And I think my hole might be too tiny. Come on. There we go. Look at that. Water. It doesn't look like much, but it is important. Now, particular trees are obviously safe to drink and particular ones aren't. So don't do this on trees that you don't know what's gonna happen. All right, well, let's have a look here. That's not a lot of water, but it is something. A little bit cloudy. You could filter it, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to pretend it's like tea. And we'll just let it collect there, and then we'll use this corner tomorrow. Nice. Okay, this one's pretty much a non-event. This is the one that I did very late. Oh look, there is water in there, but it's not a lot. I think we'll just leave that till tomorrow. Maybe that'll get a bit more morning sun. Yeah, there's only a tiny amount of water in there, so we won't bother with that one. Okay. This is the best bag, this one here. Look at that. That one has a significant amount of water in it. So let's do the shakedown. Just carefully put this somewhere where it's not going to tip. And look at all that moisture on top. There's plenty more moisture to get down the bottom. This one's going to be a bit tricky to show on camera because I'm kind of balancing on the edge of this rock wall. But we'll do the same thing. Put a little tear in the bottom. Okay. So we just ripped a little hole in that bit there. And then hold this down the bottom and away we go. Water. Could make it go faster. There we go. It's going a bit faster now. Yeah. No, there's a bit of water in that one. I'm getting somewhere. Oh no, we've got a hole in our container. That's what's going on. Okay, where's it coming out of? Oh, damn. Okay, well, we've got a hole in the container. You know what I'm going to do? I might just drink it right now. So that's the best two containers, but look, it's leaking quite fast, unfortunately. So probably could filter it through some sand and a bit of charcoal and all of that kind of thing, but to be honest, it's no worse than a cup of tea. Oh, if that's not the best tasting water ever, you know what it tastes like? It tastes like it's got a slight kind of wattly or eucalyptusy taste. It's actually like, it tastes like tea. That is good. It's very good, in fact. I'm trying not to stir it up too much, but surprising amount of water actually. That was, you know, I don't know, what would we call that? 300 mils or something? That's really good. That would save you. That would definitely save you for a day. If you had, you know, and if you're in a crazy situation where you needed to, if you had bags for some reason, you could definitely survive this way. All right, we'll tie this bag up. We'll get the little bit that's in that bag as well. We'll go and check on the other bags. If I can get a little bit more, that'll be a bonus. But that amount of water was enough to sort of keep me going for today. Yeah, considering that this tree, like this bag was put on after I reconsidered that first tree. Considering that this one only had that amount of time, this tree has been very productive. It's not even that big a tree. No, very good, very good. So this one is working, so I think tomorrow that would actually be sort of maybe a semi-productive tree, but I think I'll just leave that tonight. There's no point in getting that out. It's not really worth doing. This one up here, this is our last bag. This one has a decent amount in it. So we'll shake that one down. We'll definitely drink that today. Seems like such slim pickings, but it's definitely enough to keep you going. Whether or not, I wonder if this is more productive than solar steel. I might put a solar steel out tomorrow as well, and we'll give it a test and see which one's actually more productive. Spoils of the day. Oh, sugar, we're leaking again here. I'll hold it that way. I think we're all right. Well, that looks particularly nice, doesn't it? Well, just going to sit up on these rocks, enjoy this last little bit to drink, and then I think we'll call it a day. It's a twig. But yeah, no, that water tastes delicious. It's got such an Australian taste. So that'd definitely keep me going. Definitely keep me going for, you know, quite a while. But it's not perfect, you know what I mean? Like I'd slowly be deteriorating. But I think the real key to all of this is you wouldn't just stay here and just cop it sweet. You'd start looking for a better place. You'd look for better trees that'd get much more. Yeah, I think if I found better trees that sort of had a bit more light around them and were bigger kind of trees with a lot more foliage in them, I think, you know, you could double this yield no problems. And then you'd actually have enough water. You could actually start stockpiling as well. But I think, yeah, I think because it's only a 3-dayer, you know, same with the shelter, it's not worth, you know, worrying too much about it. But you can see how it is possible. Like it's an interesting sort of test for me because I haven't done it for so long. I mean, I'm interested to see if I could actually make enough water, and it seems like I could, you know, with a bit of tinkering and a bit of moving spots. And I guess the ultimate goal would be to move to somewhere where there was like a freshwater creek or something if you were there for a long period of time. If you're on an island or something, you'd have a lot less choices. Then you would have to start looking at other things like solar stills and all that kind of thing. But yeah, because there's a lot less foliage to give up water this easily. I'm just lucky that there's a couple of trees that actually are suitable. Oh, so good. It's so good. Better than eating. See you on the next one.